Hello readers and welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie Ward and I'm an award-winning self-published author. My debut novel, The Pretender, was a top 30 YA bestseller on Amazon. And I wanted to talk to you today about the award that I talk to you about in every single video when I say award-winning author. I want to break down what that award is. It's known as the Indie BRAG Medallion, and I want to give a little more insight into it because it is an award that for self-published authors is very prestigious and really puts a mark of quality on their work. So if you want to find out more about it, stay tuned for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you receive notifications for the videos that I post. And if you do like my content, please do put a like and also put a comment in the comments box below because I always like to hear from you. So as you'll know, if you're a returning viewer, every video that I have created so far, I refer to myself as an award-winning author. But what is that award that I'm talking about? It is known as an Indie BRAG Medallion, and I was awarded it for my book, The Pretender, in April 2019. But before I go into exactly what it is, I want to give you a little bit of background on the organisation behind the BRAG Medallion. First and foremost, BRAG stands for Book Readers Appreciation Group. And it is a worldwide group. It is based in the US, but readers come from all over the world in order to take part and review these books. It was founded in 2012, and it was founded on the basis that there was a couple who were themselves self-published authors, but they found that with the explosion of self-publishing, now that anyone could write a book, it was really hard to stand apart from the low quality and badly edited books that were flooding the self-publishing market. And that's no good for the audience and it's no good for the author. Experts say that up to 95% of self-published titles are badly written and badly edited. So it's not hard to see how self-publishing has gained a reputation for being something that you do when you've got no other options. But that's really unfair to the authors like myself and to the people that started the Indie BRAG, because we work really hard to create really top quality, engaging, well-written, well-developed books. And we are kind of, bunched in together with all these people that didn't really give it a second thought. So the Indie BRAG Medallion was set up to promote excellence within the self-publishing sphere. It is mainly focused on fiction, but it also does do non-fiction. As well as being a way to discover talented self-published authors and to also give their work a platform, there is a secondary purpose for the BRAG Medallion, and that is to give a quality assurance mark to readers that these books within the self-published remit, the ones that show the BRAG Medallion mark, are top quality and worth the money that you are going to spend on them. Because in this industry of titles that are now topping millions a year, there is no way to actually verify the quality of this work. And the BRAG Medallion aims to lift that quality and also give assurance to readers that what you're buying is worth the money. There are terrible books wherever, in traditionally published, in self-published arenas, but the point is that within the self-published industry, there is no ability to have them peer-reviewed. So places like New York Times reviews, they don't do self-published works. A lot of the areas where you get this peer critique in the traditional publishing world is not open to self-published authors. So this is where I think the BRAG Medallion has come in, and where it's really valuable for self-published authors is that they provide this independent ability to peer review the books and to give them a quality standard rating, if you like, through the mark. You either get it or you don't. And it really, really does give you a boost of confidence as an author that you've hit the mark. But also it gives your readers confidence to know that you are set above of other titles that aren't well written and are badly edited. And for me as an author, as a self-published author, that is really important to be able to do, because I aim to produce work for my readers that is absolutely top notch. My mission is that my readers must not be able to tell that the work they're reading is self-published. But without BRAG Medallion, my work would be bogged down with everyone else, and there would be nothing to show that this is a really, really good book. The Indie BRAG Medallion is the most prestigious award a self-published author can receive. I should liken it probably to the Man Booker Prize for traditional published authors. It's pretty much the very top award you could ever hope to receive. And the reason for that is because it is so strict in its criteria. If you are able to get a BRAG Medallion, then you have hit everything that you need to hit as an author. And I know when I submitted my book, I did not think it was possible with my first book, having no experience, that I could have won that award. I was so shocked when I got my report back to say you have been successful. I had to read it 3 times just to make sure that I hadn't just seen what I wanted to see. When I got the summary back, The Pretender had scored top marks in all categories except one. And when I read the notes, the reader who had marked me down in one category had given the reason. And the reason they marked me down and didn't give me full points was because when they tried to read my book on Kindle Paperwhite, it didn't display properly. And I read that and I thought there was no way I was able to test on every single Kindle model out there. And I know my designer and me worked really, really hard to get it to look fantastic on Kindle. It was so technical and so above my ability and my designer's ability to really have preempted that I was happy for that mark to not be the top, because I thought, you know what, it was so out of my control as an author. It was so technical that it had nothing to do with anything about my writing, about the cover, about anything else that they would look into. So I was really, really happy with that. And I effectively feel that in terms of my writing, the characterizations, the editing, the cover, I got top marks across all of it. So I've been able to show you how well The Pretender has done with the BRAG Medallion. But I know that other authors, self-published authors out there maybe watching this video might want to know how they can use that as a way to get their work recognised. And as much as I tell you it's a very prestigious award and it is one that is only given to 20% of all applications, don't let it put you off, because if I had let it put me off, I wouldn't have submitted my work either. And if you submitted it and you didn't get it, then you'd know that there's something that you need to tweak with. So the kind of not getting it would be as valuable as getting it, because you would know that you have some work to do in order to get it to be the standard that it needs to be given a BRAG Medallion. And to be clear, what that standard is basically high marks across all of the readers that read. And as you can see from the Pretender's report, they go into every single aspect. It is extremely rigorous. That is something that we in the self-publishing industry really need to get out there to people, because this is where we can show the real talent within the industry and kind of cut out all of that badly written, badly edited work that kind of pulls us all down. I will put a link below to the Indie BRAG website so that if you're interested in getting more information about how to submit your book, you can do. But I will also talk you through the process here so you get a little idea of what's involved. The first thing you need to do if you're interested in submitting your book for consideration for a BRAG Medallion is to look for an open submission window. Because BRAG Medallion is inundated now with applications for consideration, they have had to limit submission to windows. The submission window has only just recently closed, and they will notify you again via their website and via their social media, so Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, about when these windows are going to open. They will notify you when the window is open, and they will notify you when the window has closed. So it's really good to sign up to their social media so that you'll be kept fully in the loop around when Indie BRAG are taking their submissions. Once you have submitted your book through their website, what will happen is that they will do an initial review. And what they will do is assess it against a certain criteria to make sure that your book meets their minimum standard. They might do this by looking at the preview version on Amazon, or they might just read a section of what you've submitted. If you don't meet their minimum required standard to proceed with your submission, they will refund the $75 fee that you pay when you submit your work. And they will advise the author themselves in an email about the fact that you haven't met this standard. Once your book has been accepted and passed the initial assessment, then BRAG Medallion will put the book out and make it available to their panel of worldwide readers. And they will specifically make it available to those who have an interest in the genre that you've written in. So for me, it was young adults. So they would have put it out to their young adult readers. At that point, the readers will then contact BRAG Medallion with an interest in reading that book. And this is another area where, if there was the rare exception where readers didn't choose, no reader chose to read your book, they would again refund the $75 fee that you've paid in full. But I would say that that's probably quite a rare situation, because if you've met that minimum criteria, I would imagine that there are readers who would want to read your book. But at this point, and the point where you don't meet the minimum standard, you will get a full refund of your $75 fee that you pay when you submit your work. Once the readers have chosen to read your work, the process is very simple and straightforward. Effectively, they will read your ebook and they will then critique it against the criteria that I showed you earlier. And if you get high marks from each and every one of those readers, and if you look obviously at the Pretender, I got all 5s except for 1 4. So I should imagine if you get mostly 5s and 4s, then you would be granted a BRAG Medallion. So once they've made the decision about whether you are awarded a BRAG Medallion, if you've been successful, you will then be notified via email to say, congratulations, you have been awarded a BRAG Medallion. And you will also be sent that summary report that I showed you earlier from the Pretender, where they set out all the scores that you've received. And they also include in it feedback that the judges gave you, to be constructive and to kind of help you. However, what's really important is they did not review my book. They critiqued my book against a criteria to gauge eligibility for an award. It is not the same as a book review. A book review that I got from a blogger who really, really loved my book, yes, I can publish that and I can advertise it as a review. But with a BRAG Medallion, you could put what they said, but you mustn't put it like it's a review, because they haven't reviewed your book. They've critiqued your book, and it is very, very different. So just be aware, if you get fantastic feedback from the judges like I did, absolutely brilliant and congratulations, but that is not a review of your book. So don't advertise it as if it is, because you might get a little bit of pushback or you might get into a little trouble there. So you can share it with people, but just make it clear that it's as part of the BRAG Medallion critique. One of the fantastic things about the readers that BRAG Medallion use to critique your books is that they are made up of professionals, so agents and authors and editors, but also they're made up of people who just love to read. So as well as being for authors who want to look at submitting their work to BRAG Medallion, the website also details about what you should do if you want to become a reader and join that worldwide community who critiques author's work for them and gets free books in the interim. So if you're really big on Kindle and you would like some free books and to help self-published authors really get themselves out there and to raise their platform, then do check out the BRAG Medallion to see how you could become a reader too. Thank you so much for joining me, readers, for another video. I hope you've really enjoyed this one on the BRAG Medallion, and I hope it's given you a little bit more information about the award that I refer to when I open up with award-winning author. If you would like to put a comment, do so in the comments box below. I always like to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video and share it so that other people can find it, especially if you know anyone who is wanting to do self-publishing for themselves, because it can be a little bit of a minefield when you're not sure what to do. And I hope that these videos will help anyone wanting to take that journey for themselves. I have just finished the first draft of my second novel, Red Roses, so I will be sharing that journey with you soon. I'm just editing it again to go through and identify any plots or any kind of areas that need to be tightened up or things that I haven't explained properly. And once I've done that, I will then go out and find an editor and I will then start the process, which I will detail here with you. So stay tuned for that. Exciting news has happened. I have finished the first draft, so the ball is nearly rolling there. And have a fantastic Halloween. I hope you stay safe wherever you are and enjoy Halloween even in these strange times. Thank you very much, readers, and speak to you soon.